while he was in our youth ministry. And so I don't want to give away all of the information.
Sorry.
I don't want him to I need to backtrack.
Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't want him to watch this video and then be like, that's me. Hey friends! I'm Grace Ann.
And I'm Andrea.
And this is G&A for today. And we're back together!
Woo!
Yay!
Yes. And we are two best friends living a faith-based lifestyle and
Documenting it.
if you haven't already, make sure you go back and watch Grace Ann's room tour, which was last week, and it was her like legit room tour. If you've seen all our videos, you know what we're talking about. It'll be in the information tab above here.
Yeah. And then this week we are super excited because we have a very fun video. This week's video is all about what to do if you and your best friend like the same guy. Yikes. And we have a special guest, so stay tuned.
So, this is our friend Abby. If you have been with us for the long haul, then you already know her because she's in our tattoo vlog. And where's her? Yeah.
I'm not lifting my foot.
But the reason why we brought her onto this video is because her and Grace Ann kind of have some backstory behind this whole topic. So in this segment of the video, you're gonna learn their tea. You're gonna learn their tea.
Truth. So we grew up together, right?
Yes.
We have gone to the same church for a long time growing up. We went to the same church. So you would think that there would be like a lot of different times that we liked the same guy, and there probably was like when we were younger, but the like most recent time is the story that we're going to tell because it was more relevant now that we're older. I think like we have like more tea behind it because like you know like I know that I'm looking to date for marriage, and I think I could say the same about you.
Yeah.
Like so it's a little bit of a bigger deal when you like the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to come up with a name for this person.
Timothy.
Okay, that's a biblical name too. So for the purpose of this, we're going to say that his name was Timothy. So Timothy was someone who came and was a part of our ministry for a little bit when we were at the same church, and he like was really involved. I would say he like came and did a lot of things with us, and Abby and I used to share the worship ministry at our church, and like for the youth and everything. So we were very hands-on with like anybody and everybody.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
The people and just everything.
Yeah. So we ended up like one day we had to be at church early, and Abby was like, "What do you think about Timothy? Like he's like he's kind of new."
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, he's kind of cute." Like, you know, trying to play it off, right? And then I think it was like probably a couple weeks later, I think, something like that. We ended up going to like coffee or something, and Abby was like, "I think I have a crush on him," and I was like,
Yikes.
yeah. And I was like, "Cool." Like
in that moment, I knew. That she did too. Yeah. You knew?
I didn't know that you knew this.
Yeah. Of course I did.
That's true.
It's kind of obvious because you're like, cool. Right. You really hide her. She does not hide her.
It's like when someone like wins the award that you really wanted, and you're like, congratulations.
So like, but I didn't tell Abby because I was like, I don't want to cause like drama. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna say anything. And like, Abby and I are very similar in like our dating history, I guess. Like we have both had like we've been riding the struggle bus.
They're both single and ready to mingle, everyone. I don't
know about ready to mingle.
I'm ready to mingle. I was like, you know what? I'm just like not gonna tell her because like it's just better if I don't. And we were working very close in ministry, like I was saying. So I was like, I don't want to cause drama. Like whatever. I'm just gonna let it go. But then, like as we kept going along in our ministry and stuff, Timothy like was really showing that he was a good, solid Christian, and that like he loved the Lord, and he was becoming really involved with ministry and doing a lot of things that I was like, wow, this makes you even more attractive.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, like when it's a guy and they're like showing that they're like really rock solid in their faith, you're like, why you do this to me?
Why are you making this harder?
Yeah, especially when you're like trying to like not have a crush on them, because I was trying to like let go, you know? I was trying to like be nice and be like, okay, Abby, you get it, girl. Like, you go.
You shoot your shot, girl.
Yeah, shoot your shot. And then I was like, But now he's like really attractive and he's really nice. And like, now I don't know what to do. So then, do you want to tell this part of the story?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, we went and got coffee, and because we did that a lot. A lot of times we would go to church, get coffee, practice,
We eat lunch and then come back to church.
service. So we like were together all the time. And I eventually like we went to go get coffee, and Abby was like, "So, what do you think of Timothy?" Like, da 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 da. And I was like, I mean, kind of have a crush on him, not gonna lie, but like I don't want this to like start drama between us. And then Abby, being Abby, was like, "It's not gonna do that."
It didn't.
No.
It really didn't. I remembered being like, that's not what's gonna happen, because I told her like if he liked her and he didn't like me, then of course it would hurt, but you know, I would get over it because then my best friend would be happy, and I care more about my best friend being happy than I guess my feelings. I know that's not how it's supposed to go, I guess, but that's just me.
Yeah, and I like for a hot minute I like was like, that's really sweet, you know, like she cares that she like wants me to be happy too, and like I want her to be happy. So then like I think we went to practice and had lunch and everything, and I was like, you know what, why don't we just like decide not to do anything? Like let's just decide to like
decision ever.
Yes. Because I was like, yes, he is an attractive human being and he's really nice and he loves Jesus and everything. But if one of us dating him is going to potentially make it awkward for our friendship, it's not worth it.
No.
And so we were like, we're just going to let it go. If he like comes up to me and says, hey, I like you or whatever, then I would have taken that situation to Abby and vice versa. And we talked about it. Like we talked about all the different potentials. Yeah, we were like, if Timothy does this or whatever, like, but we pretty much just like left it in his hands, and we tried to be as neutral as possible when we were around him together, because we knew that our friendship was worth more than the like affection and attention of a guy.
At first, it was kind of awkward because I was like, well, what's going to happen if, you know, like, I ended up with him or she ended up with him? Because, you know, I'd, like, say that, like, I'd be okay with it, but, you know, like, deep down, you know, like, you're not going to be okay with it, but still you're going to put on that happy face for your friend. And so at first, and I was kind of a little upset that we decided not to do anything with it, but then I laid out my options, or not my options, I laid out my thoughts.
I laid out all of my boy options.
You know, I laid out like the reasonings of why we decided not to pursue it, and then to me, and still now, right now, to me, my friendships right now are more important than a boy, because I'm not really pursuing a boy right now.
If I had dated Timothy during that time, it just would have been weird. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff that was getting ready to happen in my life, and a whole bunch of changes that were getting ready to happen, and it like I would have viewed it all differently. It just wasn't the right timing, so I think we definitely made the right decision.
Agreed.
So thank you, Abby, for coming.
Abby. Drop in the comments, say, hey Abby, you're cool. Bye.
Yeah.
Say that in the comments.
What's your favorite?
Exactly that.
What's your favorite emoji?
I don't have a favorite emoji.
One of them. What's your favorite smiley face? Does that narrow it down?
No. I love the purple heart emoji. That's my
put
favorite.
the purple heart emoji.
Comment the
There we
purple
go.
heart emoji.
Now in the video we're going to give you some tips of how to handle this if you're actually going through this right now, because not all the situations are exactly like Grace Ann and Abby's. That's just an example. So here are some tips of if you're going through this, how it can help. Hopefully. This is what we've come up with. So one tip is that you should always have open and honest communication with your friends. So do not be afraid to talk about it. Like if you just leave everything up to your mind and your friend's mind to like wonder how they feel, then like they're gonna think things that aren't actually true, and it's just like a whole big mess of mud. And don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of times you can like get in your own head too, and then you're like, well, they must feel this way or they must feel that way. But
like, have you talked to them about it?
Yeah.
No, so you don't know.
But you can think that, and then you'll get all excited and you'll overanalyze. It's just not worth. Another tip is don't let it be a competition. That, I think, is probably one of the quickest ways to end a good friendship, because, and I think it happens a lot of times, especially in like middle school, high school age, maybe not so much in adulthood, but it's not, getting a boy is not a competition. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, you like him too? Oh, so it's on. Like,
race me for.
Yeah, like, it's just, people are different. Like, you might have some quality, like, that the guy is really looking for. Attraction is subjective, and it doesn't mean that someone, because like this guy likes your best friend and doesn't like you, it doesn't mean that you're any less than. That's just their opinion and that's their feelings. That's not, like, you can't control that. That has nothing to do with you, and it shouldn't be like a race. It's like, guys are not a prize. They are.
If you learn anything from this video, learn that guys are not a prize.
Yeah, like, they're people, and while you might want a relationship, it might not be time for you to have a relationship. So don't ruin a good friendship like that.
One of the biggest things that we talk about on this channel, go ahead, say it. Prayer. Okay, so pray about it. 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 How many times can I say it? Prayer is literally so important.
Yeah,
Like,
I literally don't think we could say it enough.
you should be in prayer about just about everything in your life, honestly. Like, the big things, the little things. So if there's like a potential conflict between you and your friend, then be in prayer about it and just be open and honest with God about how you feel, and let him speak to you. Don't just like do all the speaking yourself. Give him some room to speak to you so you can get a chance to have some peace about it, because if you ask God for peace, then he will grant it to you if that's what's in his will. So then just pray about it, because honestly, it won't hurt.
Preach. So I think probably the biggest tip that I think we've talked about probably 5 or 6 times already in this video is don't let it come between you. Guys are not worth it. They're not worth losing a friendship over. And I say that knowing what I'm saying, okay? Like, I know that some of you are like, but he's this, but he's that. No, not worth it. Because, let's be real, your friends know you better than you know yourself. And if you're as close of a friend with them as you, like, as I think you would be to call them your best friend, they know you better than you know you. Don't let a guy come between you. It's not worth it. Especially if you're fighting over the same guy. Like, it's just not, it's not worth it. And I've seen so many good friendships ruined because one of them would try to go and date the guy or whatever. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Let it go. Let God handle it. If one of you is supposed to be with the guy, then God will make that happen in his timing, and he'll grant peace to the opposite friend. He will grant you understanding and your friend understanding, because that is what he does. If you are in prayer about it and you're trusting the Lord with it, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. Don't break up a friendship over a guy.
Our last and final tip is to make sure that you have your friend's best interest in mind. I feel like it can be kind of easy to let jealousy seep into your mind, even though you don't even know it's happening. If your friend is happy and you're not in that place, like, jealousy can seep in like slowly, bit by bit, and then all of a sudden you're really jealous. And so just make sure that your heart is in the right place whenever you're talking to your friends about all this, and just make sure you're not making it all about you. Just like make sure that you want happiness for your friend, you want happiness for yourself. Don't let it come between you. Just make sure that the way you're acting and the words that you're saying are all based around the fact that you want your friends to be happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below if you've ever been in a situation like this, or if you are right now, and how you handled it, and if it was similar to Grace Ann and Abby's situation.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have enjoyed these tips and if they've helped you.
And if you have any more tips.
Yeah, we love to have discussions down below, so let us know and let's talk. Make sure that you hit that like button and that you click the subscribe button right beside that red subscribe button. You know what I'm gonna say. There's a little bell and it like swings back and forth when you click on it. Click that bell so that you get notified every time we post a video, because you want to know when we post a new video.
Watch out, exactly a week from today, our next video is coming out about how to disagree with your friends respectfully. And you know, that's a big thing because everyone is their own person. Everyone has their own opinions. So it's really important to know how to have your own opinions and be respectful about it, and and just be nice and remain
love your friends.
Yeah, just remain friends. Okay. But we will see y'all here next week.
Bye, friends. That was the worst we've ever done.
I forgot we chatted before we said it. Okay, ready?
Bye, friends.
That's hilarious.
You're good.
I know, I'm just watching it.
Oh, okay.
That was funny to watch. I went.
I want you to look like 10 feet tall, and we're like, this week. Oh, we didn't decide. We haven't planned what we were gonna say.
Just because I liked him, so.
We knew that like our friendship was worth more than
Yes.
the love and affection of a boy, and I hate my phone.
Thank you guys so
I wasn't looking. I was looking down. Sorry.
We're gonna come back next week with a song about praying, like a rap, like a pray about it, pray about it, pray about it, pray about it. I don't know. Okay, so
We're so weird. What did we just do? That's a blooper for sure.